2018 Mercedes-Benz E-Class Saloon Review. The good points of Mercedes-Benz E-Class Saloon. Class-leading 2.0 diesel engine. Incredible comfort and noise isolation. Stunning decor and finish. Genuine 5-seat accommodation. Futuristic safety and convenience tech. The bad points of Mercedes-Benz E-Class Saloon. Some rivals will be more fun they are driving. No entry-level petrol. Looks like cheaper class. Desirable equipment costs extra. The E-Class is one kind of Mercedes-Benz's most storied models. Robust, stylishly understated and practical, it offers traditionally been as loved by taxi drivers as administrators, and over 13 million are already sold over multiple generations. Key rivals within the class add the Audi A6, BMW 5 Series and Jaguar XF. While the BMW and especially the Jaguar concentrate on driving enjoyment, the revolutionary E-Class plays the luxurious card, offering a degree of in-cabin style and luxury not one other car inside sector can match. Larger than in the past and brimming with tech. Longer but lighter than its predecessor, the revolutionary E-Class Saloon incorporates a wheelbase stretched by 65 mm to produce additional interior space. But the area where it outpaces your competition is in interior style and quality. An optional 12.3-inch color screen replaces the original speedometer and rev counter with customizable digital displays, and stretches almost on the other side with the dashboard. Not even this class limousine can match the E-Class's tech meets luxury ambience. A step better autonomous driving. Mercedes is investing huge sums in autonomous driving technology, and although a completely self-driven car bearing a few pointed star remains years away, the E-Class takes us a stride closer. Using the remote parking pilot, owners can in fact get from their car, that will then park alone in response to your prompt from other smartphone. The E-Class also features the modern version of Mercedes Adaptive Cruise Control, a method that can keep a safe distance between you as well as the car in front, right down into a stop, and in many cases steer relating to the white lines at motorway speeds, even though it requires some a higher level input with the steering wheel every a few seconds or so. Other innovations include seat bolsters that actively push you on the center in the car each time a side impact is imminent, steering that intervenes to assist you steer around obstacles in desperate situations, plus a smart key stored in your phone that replaces a normal key. Of course, this technology is merely suitable for Android, rather than Apple phones. Wide array of engines. Launched in predicted biggest-selling E220D guise alongside a powerful E350D, the E-Class Saloon range is growing to accommodate a less expensive diesel, a plug-in hybrid and high-performance petrol versions. That means 7 engines as a whole, but a good amount of scope for buyers, whether or not want economy, performance, or possibly a little of both. The Mercedes-AMG versions E43 and E63 offer serious performance along with the ability to deploy it in all of the conditions, considering the fact that both feature 4MATIC all-wheel drive as standard. Choice of 2 core trim levels. Trim levels are limited to say and sporty AMG line to the majority in the range. Same models consist of parking sensors, a reversing camera as well as the self-parking system, LED headlamps, satellite navigation and autonomous braking. AMG line cars add 19-inch wheels and sportier interior and exterior styling tweaks including different bumpers, seats and dash inlays. Like its class brother, the E's handling is reassuringly stable. It's highly competent, but rivals much like the Jaguar XF are definitely more engaging drive an automobile. if you're seeking the most comfortable, refined car inside class, however, look no further. The verdict. Practical and classy, with access with a concise but wide choice of engines, the Mercedes-Benz E-Class seems to offer a tiny amount of everything you could want within a buzzing S-Class saloon. From economical hybrid and diesel variants to your standout performance with the AMG E43 and E63 range toppers, the sole thing missing is a real mainstream petrol-engined car. It might not have the outright drivability from the BMW 5 Series and also the restrained looks with the Audi A6, nevertheless the E-Class gives a seriously strong balance of abilities. Watch the total Mercedes-Benz E-Class saloon review to know about the brand new saloon in depth. Lots to select from, with diesel, hybrid and petrol. Impressive economy from the revolutionary 4-cylinder. Massive performance in the AMG cars. There's a broad selection of powertrains within the E-Class saloon, with diesel, plug-in hybrid and petrol all dealt with. Diesel engines. The bulk in the lineup visits diesel, unsurprisingly, which has a 4-cylinder 2.0-liter motor that made its debut from the E-Class, kicking things off. It's much smoother and quieter than its predecessor and easily obtainable in two states of tune, the 150 horsepower E200D plus the 194 horsepower E220D. Picking between two is a little confusing as being the more powerful version provides the same fuel economy minus 72.4 miles per gallon, despite being on the second quicker from 0.62 miles per hour 7.3 in contrast to 8.4 seconds. That's to some extent because the 220D packs 400 Nm of torque to your 200D's 360 Nm. Although the more efficient car's 150 miles per hour top speed may seem academic after dark speed limit-free autobahns with the car's homeland, it hints that there's still strong overtaking performance offered at UK motorway speeds. You may also have the E220D with 4MATIC all-wheel drive, although expect sprint times and economy to fall, 7.5 seconds and 62.8 miles per gallon because of this model. For those wanting more power, there's an E350D powered with a 258 horsepower 6-cylinder engine. With another 64 horsepower on the E220D, plus 2 additional cylinders, it may cover 0.62 miles per hour in 5.9 seconds and incorporates a more relaxed character due to 620 Nm of torque for the expense in the E220D's superbly low running costs. Expect 51.4 miles per gallon. Petrol engines. An odd mix here of the fuel-sipping plug-in hybrid as well as the fire-breathing Mercedes-AMG models. Let's manage the E350e first, a 4-cylinder motor assisted by battery pack. This can sprint from 0.62 miles per hour in 6.2 seconds but nonetheless promises 134.5 miles per gallon. We think it's unlikely you'll see this figure, but sub 50 GkM of CO2 can make it an attractive option for company car drivers. It offers potent performance, 286 horsepower and 550 Nm of torque. At the opposite end from the E-Class spectrum are definitely the Mercedes-AMG E43 and E63 performance models, powered by the V6 and V8 engine respectively. The E43 packs 401 horsepower and 520 Nm of torque for any 0.62 miles per hour period of 4.6 seconds. It makes an incredible, if slightly synthetic, noise filled with 6-cylinder howl with the top end and menacing burble on the bottom. It's a fantastic mix of performance and everyday usability, offering great performance when you wish it and also the ability to make calm, wafty progress once you don't. Its fuel economy isn't much over V8 car though, with 33.6 miles per gallon to be had. The top AMG E-Class is available in two variants, the standard E63 as well as the E63S. The normal E63 offers up a somewhat bonkers 571 horsepower and 750 Nm of torque, racing from 0-62 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. Upgrade to your E63S and people figure climb to 612 horsepower and 850 Nm, meaning serious muscle for those who choose to deploy it. This car shaves a tenth from the E63's 0-62 miles per hour and provides identical fuel economy of 31 miles per gallon. Characterful doesn't quite cover the barrel-chested V8 squeezed into your engine bay. It's not by far the most tuneful noise inside world, but it really certainly loud and exciting to be controlled by. Despite packing a set of turbos, the E63S offers razor-sharp throttle response and extremely little lag if you press the throttle pedal. The super-quick 9-speed automatic gearbox helps here, which features a spooky chance to be inside right gear always. Our engine choice. Of these we'd go with the E220D because of its incredible mix of strong performance, excellent refinement and low purchase and running costs. But remember that the 102 GkM CO2 figure only is applicable to cars together with the smallest available wheels. Stepping up from 17-inch to 20-inch diameter alloys adds 10 GkM on the CO2 output. A good steer but better handling rivals available. High grip from two-wheel drive, much more from 4MATIC. AMG cars can be a real blast on the twisty road. The new E-Class can be quite competent in side corners, but such as class, its priorities are skewed more towards comfort than handling. A Jaguar XF is a bit more fun to push. The steering is precise, feels pleasingly light at parking speeds and weights up nicely the faster you are going. Nevertheless, it never really informs you much in what the front tires are nearly. The E200D and E220D come as standard with conventional coil springs, but air springs, a technology normally only entirely on high-end luxury cars, can be obtained as an option, and they are standard on higher spec versions. Toggling throughout the drive mode selector about the console changes the stiffness from the air springs. If you need to get anywhere remotely quickly, you should engage sport mode to reduce unwelcome body roll. The two-wheel drive model's traction is very useful, and this is improved to all-wheel drive 4MATIC cars. Mercedes-AMG models noticeably sharper. For the best in a class handling you'll want either in the AMG prepared cars, the E43 and E63. The former sits halfway, involving the standard car as well as the V8 Super Saloon, and for that reason its handling things a little confused. While the steering is quite reactive, it doesn't offer much from the way of communication, and inside softer driving modes there continues to be a degree of body roll to cope with. The 4MATIC all-wheel drive system also favors understeer if your limits of grip are reached. The E63, however, is much less of any compromise, with quick and accurate steering and flat handling even though pushed hard. Its all-wheel drive system feels far more rear-wheel biased, which has a balanced feel in corners than slips in controllable oversteer when pushed. This model also incorporates a controversial drift mode which sends more power towards the rear wheels for massive slides when conditions allow. Really, you intend to save this to get a controlled, off-road environment, in which the consequences to get it wrong are easy to remove, at least mitigated. Regardless, the E63 can be a seriously impressive car even on narrow twisting roads. At times during our test that felt such as a much smaller and lighter C63, considering the agility and turn-in ability of an sports car, rather than our Twin Saloon. Massive full-width digital dashboard impresses. Styling and building is nearer to S-Class than C. Multicolor ambient lighting looks great through the night. The E-Class blows the opposition out from the water in relation to interior style, borrowing heavily from this class your government, along with some areas, actually improving it. The build quality is very useful, nearer to that of its class as opposed to class below it. The Bentley Lank organ stop heater vents add for the sense of luxury. Standard cars include two traditional style instruments along with an iPad-like yet not touch-operated multimedia screen around the top on the dash. For maximum wow, you should choose the optional dual-screen setup, which actually appears to be one hugely long screen stretching on the driver's side almost for the passengers. Mercedes doesn't believe touchscreens feel safe, so has added a tiny thumb control on the tire spoke to assist you operate the multimedia functions. It's hard to operate to begin with, but feels natural after some time. Every E-Class possesses an automatic gearbox controlled by an indicator-like column stalk with an electric handbrake that releases useful storage room within the center console. Gray tried-on standard springs. Air suspension is luxurious. AMG cars feel purposefully firm. If you're seeking the most relaxing big saloon about the market, look no further. No other car within the class can match the newest Mercedes-Benz E-Class for comfort and refinement. Whether you're idling at traffic lights or pounding the motorway, engine, tire and wind noise are impressively hushed. Ride comfort is excellent in all of the versions, though the air spring suspension standard on higher spec E-Classes, optional on others, features a clear advantage here, isolating occupants from smaller frequency bumps that could be felt using the standard coil springs. Optional adaptive dampers help smooth the ride on cars minus the air suspension. Changing the drive mode selector around the console from Comfort to Sport or Sport Plus tightens the handling in the expense of comfort. The front seats can be extremely comfortable, and provided with both air conditioning functions. The rear bench carries a flat middle section, meaning the auto can be used being a 5-seater as needed. Mercedes-AMG Ride Comfort. Both the E43 and E63 models have air suspension, but don't expect exactly the same waft to ride as you get from the normal E-Class. The AMG cars possess a special performance create, and that means a purposeful firmness that you'll notice most on lumpy roads. The 6-cylinder car is extremely easy to experience, while the Interfat E63 is less cushy even during its least aggressive drive mode, and sharpened up in Sport Plus it feels quite difficult indeed. On undulating back roads the E63's this process feels faster in Sport or normal mode, the softer suspension allowing the automobile to flow better within the cracked tarmac. Only two main trims from which to choose. Two big options packs with many different kit. Host of AMG performance models too. There are simply two trim levels to contend with from the Core Class saloon range, say, and AMG line. As ever with premium German saloons, you've also got a raft of optional extras from which to choose to personalize your automobile. Standard Mercedes-Benz E-Class saloon equipment. All versions from say specification get parking sensors, reversing camera, active braking assist, protects against rear-end collisions by alerting the trucker if traveling too close for the car in front and prepares the brakes accordingly. 3-spoke multi-function controls with the infotainment system. 17 or 18-inch wheels based on engine. Electrically folding door mirrors. Automatic lights and wipers. LED headlights. Cruise control. Dynamic select driver profile system. DAB radio. SATNAV. Heated front leather seats. Keyless ignition. On surface of that, E350D and E350E same models enjoy air suspension, the 12.3-inch infotainment screen, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone connectivity along with a touchpad to master the infotainment. What would you get from the AMG line? AMG body kit and floor mats. 19-inch alloys. AMG tire. False leather. Fabrica upholstery. Electrically adjustable seats. Styling upgrades. Black open-pore wood trim. Black roof liner. Contrast stitching. Stainless steel sports pedals. Mercedes-AMG E43 and E63. Sitting over the standard selection of cars are some Mercedes-AMG versions, called E43 and E63. The former is of a halfway house between mainstream car along with the full-fat V8 version, and therefore comes with an awful lot of extra sports styling. This E43 includes 19-inch alloys, unique AMG body kit, spoiler plus a louder exhaust, air suspension having a performance tune, fake leather dashboard, red seat belts. Going the complete E63 hog isn't an amazing simple because it sounds, with there being actually 3 versions available. The standard car, if you're able to call it that, is distinguished externally by its 19-inch alloys and wide-body AMG body kit, including some purposefully flared front wheel arches. You go for electrically adjustable front sports seats, steering column and exterior mirror with memory function. Command online system with 12.3-inch display plus a flat-bottomed wheel. Mechanical limited slip differential for the rear axle to increase grip. Performance 9-speed automatic gearbox with launch control. Cylinder shut-off technology that can help improve fuel economy. Next up may be the faster E63S, which packs more power together with some Larry styling upgrades to be sure everyone knows what you've got underneath the bonnet. What accessories will you get within the E63S? 20-inch alloys. Red brake calipers. Grippier bucket seats. AMG track pace telemetry system. Dynamic engine mounts. Electronically controlled limited slip differential. Finally, there's the limited run E63S Edition 1, which retains the first kind car's performance but adds different 20-inch alloys and an awful lot of look at bodywork stripes and shiny black trim. Tech highlights include keyless go, adaptive LED headlights with high beam assist, panoramic glass sunroof, Burmester multi-channel surround sound system, Yellow Edition 1 interior trim, optional Mercedes-Benz E-Class saloon accessories. A lot in the optional extras available are arranged in packages, the valuables in which are spelled out below. Premium pack, keyless entry and ignition, memory function for front seats, panoramic glass sunroof. Premium Plus pack, as above, the Burmester surround sound system and intelligent cornering LED headlights. Lane tracking pack, blind spot assist warns of your vehicle within your blind spot and active lane keeping assist, which uses the brakes to help prevent you drifting from the lane. Driving Assistance Plus pack, suite of systems to create driving easier and safer, including automatic braking, evasive automatic steering, active lane keeping assist and blind spot assist, as well as collision prevention technology if your vehicle senses an impending impact. Other possibilities include a 360-degree camera, tow bar, an array of paint and wheel finishes, fragranced air conditioning, power closing for doors and boot lid, heated rear seats, a choice of hi-fi upgrades along with a head-up display. Mercedes-Benz E-Class includes a 5-star Euro NCAP rating. Loads of normal safety kit plus options to select from. Space age tech mean the E-Class is nearly autonomous. Safety is often a cornerstone in the Mercedes-Benz brand, so it'll come as hardly surprising to find the E-Class saloon packed to your gunnels with kit to hold you, your passengers, pedestrians along with road users safe, as well like a coveted 5-star Euro NCAP rating. You've got airbags everywhere over the cabin, a bonnet that rises from the event of the pedestrian collision, a fatigue detection system, cruise control, ISOFIX child seat lashing points, back and front parking sensors, tire pressure monitoring and collision assistance features, for example brake preparation somebody who is impact is detected. Another interesting method is press-safe sound, which plays a frequency from the speaker system to stop damage to ears inside the event of any sort of accident. Optional E-Class Saloon Safety Kit. This is the spot that the real technological wizardry can be purchased in. There's lots of additional equipment you may pack to your E-Class to boost safety. You can hold the lane tracking package, along with a blind spot assist system warns of vehicles inside your blind spot plus an active lane keeping assist system that'll steer you directly into your lane if the vehicle thinks you're drifting out. The Driving Assistance Plus pack is amongst the biggest news here. It carries a raft of features that will together to effectively make autonomous driving possible. This means automatic emergency braking in conjunction with evasive steering assist, an attribute that'll help the motive force steer the automobile away from objects in dangerous situations. There's even a process for moving front seat occupants away from your sides in the car within the event of a major accident. True 5-seater with space for tall adults. Massive boot to stash luggage in at the same time. Futuristic remote parking is a fantastic gadget. The Mercedes-Benz E-Class saloon is 43 mm more than its predecessor and there's a supplementary 65 mm between front and back wheels. That means cabin space is extended, which experts claim means more room throughout. The rear seats certainly are a welcome proposition even for taller adults, although very tall passengers will need to avoid the center seat due to your tall transmission tunnel running through it. The Mercedes-Benz E-Class hides its size well due to its sweeping lines, nevertheless it's still pushing 5 meters long, which suggests some parking spaces may feel somewhat short. Still, it's simple to see beyond and maneuver, so providing you've got the bedroom, it'll become a doddle to park. A very clever optional feature that dramatically boosts this car's practicality could be the remote parking pilot, which could get cars into and outside of parking spaces remotely by way of a smartphone application. That means you'll be able to squeeze the vehicle into spots without worrying about having to enter and out from the doors, making smaller spaces possible. The Mercedes-Benz E-Class saloon has turned into a bit of an big boot champion, particularly estate form, so there's not surprising with this model's capacity, 540 liters. Teamed, which has a wide and square opening. As a result, the Merc an extremely practical car as well as the perfect companion for weekends away or trips towards the golf course. There is usually a penalty of approximately 140 liters of space for picking the hybrid version because its batteries are located beneath the boot floor, and use up a fair amount of space.